Hi guys, and welcome back to the ShoeBox with Mr. E. If you are visiting my channel for the first time, you are welcome to my rant platform. If you are a returning viewer, thanks for loving us. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notification, like our videos, and share with your friends. Today's episode of the ShoeBox is being shot, ta-da, in Mr. E's kitchen, and we will be focusing on being unapologetic, especially if you are inching towards 30, how you can prepare or make those life-changing decisions without having to explain yourself to anybody, right? As in, you could decide, say, I want to do this thing, or this thing I don't already do, and you go carry them for your full chest. Being an adult, as in having to wake up every morning, motivate yourself to go to work or hustle on your own just because you want to bring the bacon home, you want to pay bills, is enough stress. I mean, we didn't ask for this life, but we have to make something out of it, something positive. So that's enough stress on its own. Then having to explain to people certain things about yourself while you're doing certain things, I mean, I think it's totally uncalled for. It adds to the stress, and if given the option, a lot of us would rather not have to explain every move or steps or decisions to people. We just want to do these things because we are convinced, we've done our research, we are sure that it is what is best for us. And whoever, is bothered about it maybe can come from a place of love, not from a place of judgment or I am better than you are. So being unapologetic is something that every adult needs to learn how to do, especially, if you're inching towards 30, you already are 30 or you're just starting off life in your 20s, you need to learn to make those hard decisions. Even though people are going to judge you, you're going to second guess yourself. But yes, if it makes sense and say at all, if you don't make the decisions, then I'm bad pass for you. You have to stand for something, so you have to decide that today I'm going to do this. And you have to do it unapologetically. Of course, not being rude, not being disrespectful to people in power, including your parents. So yeah, being unapologetic, it's a skill that everyone needs to learn. And we will be touchlighting or highlighting some areas or some examples of being apologetic, or how you can apply the principle of unapologeticism. Is that a word? Top on my list is finance, as in money matters, money matter, mullah. You are in charge of your finance. You are the boss of yourself. If you're an adult, you wake up every morning, you go to work, or you're an entrepreneur, however that money comes and you know that you're sweating for it, you decide, you have the prerogative of what happens to your money, where it goes. So if you wake up one morning and decide, I want to go on a vacation to an island, say Barbados or wherever, that money belongs to you. So you decide what you're going to do with it. If you want to buy a house with your money, it's entirely your decision. Well, no one has the right to question you for buying a car when you haven't bought a house, because they're not the one breaking their back to make that money, right? Just as long as it's a sound financial decision, you're not going to end up out of pocket and then having to become a financial burden to people around you. I'm in support of that. So financially, you can make those decisions and be unapologetic about it. Of course, do your research. Next on the list is fashion. I don't get to talk about fashion because I'm quite rusty. I'm very basic. My knowledge of fashion is very basic. But I think people should be able to express themselves in fashion as much as they want to. Wear what you feel comfortable in. Don't let anyone box you in, right? So if you've discovered your own style and it's an alt style that's out there and quite outre, it's fine, all right? If you've worked hard for those abs or pecs, whatever it is, it's okay if you want to show some skin or even rock your crop top shirt. It's all right. The hell you should. You put in the hours in the gym, discipline yourself, eating the right things just to make sure you have that banging summer body. I think you're allowed to celebrate your body, okay? Of course, don't forget to dress for the occasion and profession, except the occasion is dress as you please and the job is actually one that requires your body and your sense of fashion. If you want to grow your beard, if that's something for you and you actually are endowed with beards, go all out, grow out them beards. If you want to color your hair or your nails, please the hell go all out and do that. In all, you shall have to know that it may cost you some things, opportunities. So read the room, make this decision, and when you've decided what to do, you should not have to apologize or explain yourself to anybody. Number 3, relationships and marriages. Guys, stay single if you want, or if the whole idea of marriage does not suit or appeal to you, stay single. If you love the idea of being a free bird, uncaged, untethered all your life, stay single. You do not have to apologize to anyone for not providing them or giving them a son or daughter-in-law. Stay single, right? I mean, the economic and psychological burdens of relationships and marriages these days are enough to send one off the cliff. So do your maths. Is this for me? You don't have to dip one foot in and one foot out. It's either you're in or you're not. But the decision rests solely with you, and you do not owe anyone any apologies. Number 4, not wanting kids. I personally believe that not everyone is out to be a parent or should be a parent. That's my opinion. I won't apologize for it. Right, having kids or raising children is a lot. It requires you being there physically, being mentally present as well. Of course, you need to be able to show that the financial responsibilities. So if you have done your math and you feel unable to, or you've decided that for some other reasons you don't want kids, you shouldn't have to explain that to anybody. And don't let people guilt you into having kids if you don't want to, just solely because, oh, your parents gave birth to you. You should also reciprocate that. I mean, your parents decided on their own that they wanted to have children, and voila, you came. But if you have decided that you don't want children with yourself and your spouse or partner, and you're okay, you don't have anyone for any tiny humans running around you, that is fine not to want to have kids, right? Again, it is your time and it's your money. You don't have to explain that to anybody. Number 5, how you want to have your own kids or how you want to raise them. Right, not everybody is able to have kids of their own by the natural means. There's a reason that's in air quotes, right? So if you are unable to carry a baby full time because biology has been unfair to you, or you just cannot get your swimmers there, it's also okay to do one or two things: adopt or use a surrogate. Now, I believe that in this dispensation, the stigma attached to adoption and surrogacy is not really a thing anymore. So people should be able to have kids through whatever means they want to, right? Some people just don't want to be a human ovum for their own children. It's also fine. Career choices have also meant that some people are not able to carry babies full time, so they can opt for surrogacy. Either ways, you don't owe anybody any explanation on which way you've chosen to have your own kids. Now, how you want to raise your kids, completely different, entirely up to you and your partner or your spouse. You sit down, you decide on what principles you want to instill into your children and how that sits with society. As long as that doesn't make them misfits or miscreants and they don't become a burden on society, then that is fine. It's entirely your decision to make. Number 6, residence and relocation. You choose where you want to live and where you want to raise your children. Right, move to the countryside if you want to. If that tickles your fancy, If that kind of thing is what you want, if you want to be closer to nature and you enjoy the calm and quietness of the countryside, being close to the waters, the bushes and parks, if that is the kind of thing that gives you joy, do it by all means, even though it might mean that you have to travel 90 minutes to work and back home every day. It is entirely your decision. You don't have to be stuck in the city because your friends and family live in city. You have to make this decision with your full chest. Number 7, employment and education. Guys, not everyone is cut out for a regular 9 to 5 white collar job or the whole primary, secondary, university education cycle. Some people just want to finish secondary school, get out there, learn a trade, become a beauty and expert, become a plumber, a car mechanic, or whatever that fetches the money. One just want to become entrepreneurs, try their hands on something. They want to stand on their own, pretty sooner than their mates who would rather go to school would. Now, if you don't want to be a regular 9 to 5 fiver like myself, you want to be an entrepreneur, that's fine too. As long as you've thought it through and this alternative makes sense and is solid, it is fine. You owe nobody no explanation. It only becomes my concern or my issue when you become economic parasite or burden. Next on the list is religious association or involvement. Go church if you want to. No go church if you don't want to. I mean, if then too stress you and you say you don't want to go again, no wahala. If the only thing they do now, so sit, and the teaching know they add value for your life. I beg kukuma day house, stream life if you want to. You can also choose to adopt a dormant position in church. Not everybody can be active or should be or will be active and end up a worker in church. Last, now God will judge us so whether in day house they go church, now only God know. You say when they go church, they involved in every department. No mean say you go make heaven or so. So make you share away the option, decide which one fits your spirit man better. If is to detach yourself a little from the whole gathering of brethren or to be fully involved in it. It's your decision to make. If you also choose to be a religious, entirely your decision, and I don't think anyone should question you. Number 9, civic and political association / obligation. I mean, when it comes to elections, vote who you want vote. I'm not going to try to influence your decision. Pick your candidate, pick your party. If you want to be a partisan like myself, it's fine, but perform your civic obligation. If you don't have a right to have a say on how the country is being run. Now, after you don't go vote who you want vote, shall no come complain when they don't start to pepper you, show you pep after they don't win elections. So vote who you want to vote, and that is it. You don't owe anybody any explanations, but vote the person with your full chest. If you want to vote me as president, say me I go perform now, so no wahala for that one. But it is entirely your decision. Finally, your physical attributes. Your physical features are yours alone. Now, it is fine if some persons do not find them appealing. I mean, everyone has a spec. Everyone has a preference. It's okay if you are not a spec. Because some of those people are also not your spec, right? What is not right or what should not be acceptable is if someone then settles for you just because of scarcity or insecurity and then tries to mold you into someone or something that you are not and do not want to be. Let them go and settle for their Kim Kardashians and Nicki Minaj's while you can be your Kelly Rowland or Michelle Williams or whoever you already are. Right? Some of us, the body way we get, they feel the clothes the way they market. The clothes the way they market, they no make up for our shape. So we they try manage. And the shape way we get, not be the shape where we want. It's either you love who you are or you work on getting it right, making it better. Either ways, it is your decision. If you're okay with that block shape, good. But if you want to turn it into an hourglass shape, it is also your decision. There will be people, that will come for you, that want, to condemn you, question your decision. Remind them that that body is yours, right? I might have to vomit, eat these words later, but yeah, you have a right to do what you want to do, to love yourself the way you are, to choose not to go under the knife or to choose to go under the knife. Of course, make these decisions soundly. Anyway, so now that we have talked about being unapologetic, some of the ways we can apply the principle of being unapologetic, I have to emphasize again that it is a skill, it is a knowledge that is powerful and essential for young adults or already adults, that we have this as we navigate life so that people do not, unload their unnecessary emotional burdens on you, make life more stressful than it already is. Okay, so we have come to the end of today's episode of the ShoeBox, and thank you for watching to the end of this video. As always, I am happy and I appreciate your support all the time, but I need you to also continue to like my videos and share my content so your friends and family can enjoy. Until next time, it is Mr. E.